feminist nonsense, she would have settled down.
So you're saying she should have been with a billionaire. That's what you're saying. She should have detached from her ego and been with a billionaire.
It's harder because women are taught to be more masculine now, like you. They're
so now you're saying it's about socialization. I thought you were saying these biological urges trump everything, even
right,
social
ladies, let me take this. So it's very simple, ladies. See that you guys are looking at this like one-sided. What you don't realize is that female attraction is extremely complex and it's a multivariate analysis.
I agree with you.
So, but if we're going to go on hierarchies of what women prioritize, I'm going to put status and money as number one. That gives you the ability to come in and at least start the interaction. Then she's going to look at, is he physically attractive? Height, physicality, etc. Okay, he meets my physical requirements. Now comes the charisma and the charm, which is where the billionaire probably failed with her. He wasn't attractive when she says, I didn't catch a vibe with him. Translation. He didn't charm me. He didn't woo me. He was boring. He was lame. He talked about his stocks all day, and I didn't like that. So with women, it's a multivariate analysis of what they're attracted to. You guys are looking at it, money and status. That's it. That's it. No, it gets your foot in the door.
I thought that was your point.
But I'm saying it starts there. It gives the man the opportunity. It gives him the ability to get his foot in the door. But the door is still closing. He's got to still other attraction triggers. Like when a guy walks up to you, you're like, wow, he's handsome. Let me give him a chance. Then he opens his mouth. You're like, okay, I'm good. This guy's a fucking lame. So with men, it's very difficult because they have to have a bunch of things in check to be attraction.
Every single category.
To be attracted to women. Money just buys you. Maybe you got a Lamborghini. Maybe you're a billionaire. Maybe you're a millionaire. It buys you an extra 10 seconds to introduce yourself and not immediately get rejected. That's all it really does in the long scheme. So, and when the girl's attractive and she has options like her, she's able to reject them because she has other men of higher status that are also pursuing her. This is what happens when girls have options and the sexual marketplace is globalized. So I get what you're saying. Oh, well, he had money and status. Why did she take him? Well, she's in a position where she could disqualify him because he wasn't charming and attractive enough.
So we all agree.
Exactly.
We all she's currently with a broke dude.
The only one we all agree that it's not just biology. Then we've all agreed to that. It's not just biology.
I think status means.
I think status
means just different things.
You just described 3 other things.
These are all stop. But it is biology because money, status, physical height, strength, personality, charisma, charm. These are things that women are hardwired to look for. It is biology.
Yeah, exactly. No, Myron's right. Because the difficulty here is that women, what we're saying is women are attracted to status, okay? But status can mean different things. So you've got the sort of paradigm, you've got the cliche of the rich woman who you've got the cliche of the rich woman who has sex with the pool boy while her husband's at work earning the millions of dollars or whatever. Why does she fuck the pool boy? Is it because he's not a billionaire? But he might be physically very attractive. He might have that kind of charisma. He might have that bad boy sort of panache and aplomb about him, which women also find attractive. So there are different definitions of status that can apply at different points.
So you're saying, okay, I think I understand where we're at now. You're saying, oh, women experience attraction. That's biology. But what they're attracted to can be different things depending on the woman, which means that it's not biologically the same for all women, because some women might be more biologically attracted to a really high charisma, while some women might be more biologically attracted to a higher income.
Yeah, but no woman's biologically attracted to a guy who does the housework.
That's
a completely separate point from what she's saying.
No, it's not. Because it's
not. How are you guys so autistic about sex, man? You make it boring. Like, I have an inverted boner right now. It's just going.
I think it's really interesting.
My favorite part,
I would talk to somebody who turned down 2 billionaires.
What's crazy is y'all so happy with this statistic. Statistically, we had 11 females on the panel, and y'all two the only bitches that aren't in agreement with every other female. And we're talking about what females want, and then men are telling you what men want.
Zena, there's no need. Zena, be respectful.
I'm not cussing them out.
Don't call them bitches.
I'm sorry, my queen, ladies. I'm sorry, but we have other women on this panel, and nobody's agreeing with you guys. Literally, nobody's agreeing.
Do you know what selection bias
is? This is selective. This is your exception. This is not the majority.
They hard-headed. Y'all right.
This is not the majority. This is not the majority.
You know what it is? It's college.
It is like winning and losing.
Wait.
It's why college is woke indoctrination. College turns girls into feminists, into leftists, to brainwash them with these ideas. Even though you are extremely educated, it's proof that college is just a woke indoctrination camp.
I graduated when I was 14,
feminists, but they're the definition of a woman. Hard-headed. You got to tell them they're right. Am I right? Who has been married to a woman? Males.
Fuck no.
Or in a relationship with a woman.
Well,
I'm talking to the
SNEAKO, you're
males,
saying fuck
right?
you don't
That,
get married?
right? That when
You're
you
saying
gotta win the
fuck you don't
argument
get
by
married, you don't
saying
get
she's
married?
right.
yeah, fresh.
You're
What do you
right,
got?
babe.
No.
You're
Can
right.
Can I
And
address?
the bitch is wrong.
Yeah, go ahead, please.
Okay,
What,
I just
what do you want to address?
I want to address Xena's
The
earlier
biology
points.
thing? Oh,
No, because she was like saying statistics, and
I was
I-
mocking Shadi over here, who kept saying statistic, statistic.
And she and you
Okay.
still staying talking about
okay.
statistics.
Well, because I honestly, and I don't mean
It's
to
all
be
you know.
condescending. It's gonna come off condescending. I don't know if you guys understand how statistics work.
I do actually. Like I
You
said,
know
I
what we
did grad
understand?
when I was
So-
14.
Me and her are
Okay,
street
okay.
all
smart.
right. Can y'all let her finish
I'm not
her?
street
Let her
smart.
finish
Yes.
her
Okay,
thing.
and I
Yes.
really, I'm not trying to
Let her
be.
finish for the 100th time.
Yeah, I'm not trying to be condescending. But you're saying, oh, look at all the women in this panel, look at all the men, like you see they're disagreeing with you, blah, blah. There is something called selection bias when it comes to statistics, right? And it's this whole idea that when you get a sample size of people, if you don't try to make it random, there's going to be a bias in who you select, right? So right now, being like, oh, all the people in this panel, that's not actual statistics. That's not valid statistics. What you'd have to look at is a random sample size. Because look at us. We're all in fucking Miami, right? We're not, all over the US population, anything like that. We're all hot girls from Miami and 3 guys.
So
Do
what
you
are
know how many women we've
what are you-
interviewed?
Majority of
Okay, let me
American
ask you this
Heights.
then. What are you disputing in particular with this election bias based on the panel?
Okay,
We're disputing in particular.
Okay, I'm disputing the fact that Xena's saying, oh no, like you should take into account everybody here. Look, they're telling you something opposite, blah, 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 blah. I'm not saying that people's own experience doesn't come into account with what they believe. I'm saying that you'd actually have to look at actual statistics if you're going to make a claim about what the majority of
Yeah,
people
but
believe.
you've quoted 2 statistical studies, but you didn't have the sample size. I'm not trying to be pedantic here,
That's okay.
but you know you've got to, you can't just say, oh well, the statistics say this, so therefore that's an irrefutable proof.
No,
You've got to
that's-
drill down into the methodology. What was the methodology? What was the sample size? What was the
And that's absolutely that's absolutely valid and fair. Yeah, I don't disagree with you on that. I just disagree with the idea that like, oh, you see, the majority of people on this panel think this one thing. That means that's the truth. Like that's what I want to push against.
Okay. Well, again, what is it that you are saying that there's election bias specifically that you are against? I'm asking you, what is it specifically?
She's trying to claim that we're outliers here on this panel. Undoubtedly, we are. Clearly, y'all are in more ideological agreement than we are.
Well, about what
No,
though?
you guys
About
understand
what,
that
ladies,
we select
specifically,
women
one
randomly.
thing.
Give us specifically what it is that makes you the outlier. It does. I don't care about the girls on the table. What makes you outliers from women in general, or because you guys don't agree that the
No
panel.
outliers from this panel.
Okay.
right?
Well,
But
I
I
don't
think-
think most women think that men are logically superior.
you don't think that?
No, I don't think
No.
most women think, oh, men are logically the best people, like logically superior than me. I think most women would say we're equal.
If I asked 100 women in general, would you prefer a male surgeon or a female surgeon? Most of them will probably elect with a man. If I asked a girl,
I mean, it's
would you
very
prefer-
convenient that you can just make up like, oh, if I ask 100 women or whatever, I'm sure they're going to agree with me. Like, I could say the same thing and throw it back at you. I could ask 100 men,
I mean, here's the
and I'm
thing.
sure they're going to agree with
But
me.
you got to use a. But here's the thing. This is where common sense comes in, and this is where I wish. This is why so many people from the left, I guess, don't have common sense
at all.
Most
You're saying your
women.
feelings. You're
No,
saying common sense is your feelings.
This is not my
Yeah.
feelings. This is common sense understanding that when there's danger afoot or something critical needs to be done or there's a high pressure situation, they want the man there, not the woman. If the house is burning down, you don't want 2 feminists coming in that identify as they, them coming in to pull you out. You want a toxically masculine guy that says faggot on Saturdays when he's talking to his buddies drinking beers. You want him pulling you out the fire. When you're getting robbed, you don't want 2 feminists showing up that call themselves Susie and Kristen that identifies him, her, them,
when
and
I'm
them.
in a fire, I
You
want
want a
firefighters.
toxically
When I'm getting
masculine
robbed,
man.
I want law enforcement.
who do you
I don't
think is
want
gonna-
to
Wait, no, I have a question. I really do.
Hold on. My point is, when push comes to shove, life or death, it's a high pressure situation, women almost always want men in this driver's seat taking care of the situation because why? Men are superior when it comes to operating under pressure. They're superior when it comes to dexterity. They're superior when it comes to decision making when it comes under pressure. This is why men dominate in video games, whereas there's no physical difference. Chess, etc. Men dominate women when it comes to deductive problem solving. It is a fact, and everything you see around the world nowadays was invented by a man that is more logically sound and rational.
Simple question. If those 2 girls that got kicked off the panel for being irrational and knocking on the door, if you had to go call the police because she started getting reckless, would you rather a female police officer come or a male police officer?
If they have a gun, who the fuck cares?
Yeah.
Okay, so it doesn't matter to you?
No, not if
Doesn't
they have
matter?
a weapon
What
on
do you
hand.
think? Would you rather have a male police officer come or a female police officer to come and handle the situation? 2 drunk girls being obnoxious.
The gender of the law
It doesn't
enforcement
matter.
officer doesn't
Okay,
matter.
the rest of the girls.
A man.
Wait, hold on, stop real
Man.
quick. If gender doesn't matter, then you know what? Why don't we have more women in the military? Because everyone has guns.
I didn't
By
say
that
gender
logic.
didn't matter. I just said in this specific hypothetical.
No, what I said in that
gun-
specific circumstance, if a police officer comes here, that's very different than an entire military of people. And again, I never said
They have guns. The same shit. People would die. All right, so focus. All right, people would die in the military.
All things equal.
People would
Okay,
die,
let's say
yeah.
all things
Facts.
equal. Everyone has a gun. Do you
Come
want a
on,
male
man.
police officer to show up or a female police
Come on,
officer?
man.
Do y'all know the percentage difference between male officers that pull out the guns and actually use it versus female?
That's not
Please tell me
necessarily
you know
a
it.
good
Please
thing.
tell me, because you said if y'all had guns, it didn't
That's
matter.
not
So I just want to
necessarily
know. I
a
just want to
good
know.
thing.
She brought it up, so I
This
want to know.
worship is
shit.
destroying the West.
Wait,
in
no.
real
I
time.
just
I don't want cops that are
She
trigger-happy
said
pulling out
if
their
they have a
guns for
gun,
no
their
reason.
gender doesn't
No,
matter.
no,
I'm saying they have
the
they
reason
have an
why I
equal
bring
capacity
this
to
up.
enforce the law so long as they're an armed officer of the state and they have a gun. It doesn't matter if it's a female law enforcement officer or a male law enforcement officer. If that person came into the room, they have the command of this room.
No, they don't.
They have the
Bro,
back end of the
nobody
state.
respects
They
a
have a-
female police. What are you going to arrest me?
You would
She's gonna
disrespect
fuck
a
me up?
female police
You would
officer with a gun, really.
100. I'm running away.
Shit.
You're running away
I got
from a
arrested
female
by US
officer with a
Marshals.
gun.
You know who
She'll
had to grab
hesitate
me?
to cap your ass. If
You
you're
can't-
in the command
you
of a
can't-
crime,
He just said he'd
just
run
because
away
you
from her,
can't
so
shoot
that kind
a-
of proves the point,
Ladies,
right?
ladies,
That
you
the
can't
woman
shoot
is,
a
like,
suspect from
physically-
running away from
He
you.
was joking.
You can't do that.
Yeah, yeah.
You can't
Yeah.
shoot
I mean,
a suspect.
We didn't say
legally, you're
that.
not supposed to do that. Physically,
can't.
of course, you're capable of
You
doing
can't.
that, right?
And women police officers are far more likely to pull a gun out and get involved in a shooting than a man because they're not as physically capable of dealing with the perpetrator.
Thank you.
Okay.
Clown world. I mean,
Thank you.
I don't even know if
you
that's
just argue to
That's
argue.
true.
Like,
He
That's
is
the
an
truth.
HSI
I
agent.
used to work in law enforcement. Women are far more likely to pull out their guns because they're not as physically as capable as dealing with the perpetrator.
Right. We never disagreed on like how men are physically stronger or not. Like
Mhm.
I'm not talking about physicality.
Yeah,
here.
you have an issue with the rationale.
No, yeah, no. What I
And
haven't,
logic.
what I have